6 months ago, a task that would have taken me 4 or 5 hours to complete took less than 15 minutes. That terrified me. Because if AI can write code that fast, what's exactly left for us to do? I realized I was preparing for AI the totally wrong way. Today, I'll break down 3 human-only skills that are actually becoming more valuable while everyone else is focusing just on learning how to prompt better. AI is not replacing software engineers, it's replacing a certain type of software engineer. And if you're focusing on just ticket taking and implementation, you're preparing for the future in the wrong way. Let's say a manager walks into the room and tells you, we need to build this new feature. Immediately, most engineers start thinking, okay, how do we build this? What architecture changes do we need? What database changes do we need? What API changes do we need? But the engineer that is invaluable asks, why are we building this? AI helps with implementation, but humans decide the direction. And that's what most people get wrong about AI. The hard part about engineering was never writing code. It was understanding what code should exist in the first place. And that's becoming more valuable, not less. I realized this the first time AI helped me finish a task dramatically faster. Something that would have taken me hours was now being done in a fraction of the time. Initially, I was so impressed, but then I realized, shit, this is terrifying. Because what will be left for us to do if AI is already doing this for us? The answer surprised me because the value was not coming from the code, it was coming from everything around the code. Understanding the problem, navigating trade offs, building alignment, building trust, making decisions. The things I spent years improving on as a software engineer weren't disappearing, they were just becoming more obvious. So, lesson one, become obsessed with trade offs. The engineers who struggle with AI are the ones who are solely focused on the answers, while the engineers who thrive are focused on comparing the decisions. AI is very good at generating the solutions for you, but engineering is not about just doing a solution. It's about comparing various solutions that impact the ROI that you get for your company. So it's all about choosing between competing solutions. Should we choose reliability? Should we choose speed? Short-term deliverability, long-term maintainability, etc. Those are all judgment calls depending on what is important for your team, your company, and whatnot. These are not coding problems. These are decision problems. And you need to be the engineer who builds alignment around these things with the right stakeholders. And then you can have AI build out the solution for you. Engineers who can clearly talk about these trade-offs start becoming invaluable. Lesson two, become the person who creates clarity. Think about the last meeting you attended. How many engineers actually created clarity and how many of them assumed information or just consumed whatever was being discussed? Usually just staying silent, writing down notes, multitasking. The engineers who become influential, they do something different. They ask questions, not because they don't understand, but they want others to understand. That is, help build clarity for others. Questions like, what problem are we solving? What does success look like for this project? What happens if this particular thing fails? What assumptions are we making? Things like these drive clarity because they uncover any sort of assumptions, any sort of miscommunications, any sort of misunderstandings that can happen way down the project. To prevent that from happening and wasting resources, they front load a lot of these questions to make sure everyone's on the same page before we put efforts into the solution or guiding the solution in the right way. Confusion is expensive. Misalignment is expensive. Building the wrong thing is expensive. AI doesn't automatically build alignment. It only creates a solution that you tell it to create. By the way, if you're new here, hey, I'm Ninad. I'm a senior engineer and I help other engineers become more influential, visible, and respected version of themselves so that they can get the opportunities they deserve. Could be promotions, better projects, whatever. And by the way, this next skill might be the most important of them all. Lesson three, communication is becoming a career multiplier. This is where most engineers are massively underestimating the future. As AI handles more implementation work, communication starts becoming a differentiator for people. Because even in lesson one and two, if you don't have clear and confident communication, you trying to build clarity and you talking about trade offs is not going to land the same way. To be honest, the best idea does not win. The clearest idea wins. The idea that people understand, the idea that people trust. And you, as the person delivering the idea, needs to deliver it in a way that people trust it. Your career growth is not going to come by learning more, being more technical, learning AI, prompting better. And The biggest shift in my career happened when I focused on improving my communication skills as that foundation. And don't get me wrong, technical still 100% matters. But if you're not in a position to help others understand how valuable your technical skills are, then what's the point of constantly upskilling your technical skills? So, when I focused on improving my communication skills, both written and spoken, is when I was able to better, quote unquote, market and sell my technical skills, which helped me get these better projects, promotion, and all of that good stuff. So, yeah, even what we talked about in lessons 1 and 2, if you want to talk about trade offs confidently, if you want to drive clarity confidently, communication is that baseline that you have to focus on and invest in. Yeah, because that's going to change how people perceive your ideas and what sort of buy-in you create. Communication is not just a soft skill, it's a force multiplier. So, what does this mean for you? If you're worried about AI replacing you as a software engineer, here's my advice: learn AI, use AI, become great at leveraging it. But don't make the mistake of thinking that your future depends on just coding faster. Because if AI keeps improving, speed becomes a less differentiation factor. The engineers who will thrive are the ones who communicate confidently and clearly. They talk about trade offs, they build clarity for others, they build trust, they align team members. Those are the skills that start becoming more valuable as implementation starts becoming cheap. Yeah, it's more about judgments than just coding. But, anyways, if you are one of those engineers who really struggles at communicating confidently and clearly, comment 30-day plan, then I'll send you my 30-day plan to help become a better communicator in just 30 days. Because, again, speed is not going to be the differentiation factor. So, do you want to just follow the herd or stand out and shine? Anyways, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I'm just here to help.